All right. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on what time you're watching this recording, if it's recorded. But we welcome you because there's some exciting information that I want to share with you. My name is Dr. Rosalind Shaw Belt. Dr. Roz is what everybody calls me. You see on the screen some of the things that I've done, but really what I'm here tonight as a certified wellness coach to share with you from a company that is named Aana. Aana means in the hands of God. Listen, that means so much to us and it's powerful. And you're going to see because of what our company has done since April 20th of 2019, which when we started, almost 5 years. And we started out with the line of CBD products, essential oils, and then a wellness line in 2020. And then in 2021, we introduced what you're going to hear a lot about tonight, the flat belly lifestyle. We actually have more than 30,000 customers, and we reinvest 1% of the gross profits to empower undeserved communities. We are proud to have a full medical advisory board, and they don't just recommend our products, they don't just use our products, but they use them for themselves, for their families, and for their clients. Let me give you a few facts that are kind of, breathtaking. In 2020, nearly 700,000 people died from heart disease. Now, that's not, really impressive because most of us know that heart disease is the #1 killer. But do you realize that 25% of them didn't know they had heart disease until they died? And guess what? They didn't have to do it because it was preventable. That's what's really important. And then even in 2016, before COVID, they said that the third leading cause of death was medical error, being misdiagnosed for things. Now, I told you I'm Dr. Roz, and my doctorate is actually in theology and divinity, so I'm not a medical doctor. So what I always want to do is let people hear from the wellness experts a little bit about what we're going to be talking about tonight. So check this out.
2/3 of adults are now overweight or obese, and we have an epidemic cascade of debilitating disease that's overcoming the country. There's no way we can sustain the current style of care with the epidemic that we're creating with our diet and lifestyle choices.
The diabetes, the arthritis, the heart disease, the dementia, the obesity, the cancers are affecting about 70% of deaths. All the data is that those 70% of deaths and morbidity are largely lifestyle related and preventable.
Most kids by age 10 in the US already have fatty streaks in their arteries, the first stage of atherosclerosis leading to heart attacks, strokes.
Here in American medicine, we operate from the disease model. We are in the business of treating sick people. We are not in the business of trying to prevent people from becoming sick.
When you look at chronic disease risk, all the things that we walk around worrying about, actually dietary choices trump smoking when it comes to those risks.
If I could deliver one message to the researchers who are looking for the cause of diabetes and the cause of clogged arteries and the cause of high blood pressure and the cause of obesity, I would tell them the answer's in 3 words. It's the food. It's what Americans are eating.
Now, did you hear what he said? It's the food. And the other medical doctor, he's a retired cardiologist, he said, we're not in the business of preventing sickness. We're in the business of treating sick people. And that's why here at Aana, our goal is to create a blue zone. Yes, there are 6 blue zones all over the world. What are blue zones? 6 areas in the world where people eat far less animal meat and live longer than average. We want you to take it upon yourself to create a blue zone in your home, in your family, in your community. And we're going to show you how to do that because we've got to attack the problem that's happening in the United States. Our CEO coined a phrase called chewicide. We're actually literally digging our graves with our fork. We're committing suicide at the table because of too much animal protein that's impairing our kidneys and our organs and our cells. And that's what's contributing to faster aging and cancer and heart disease and obesity. We're living sedentary lives. I'm a baby boomer. And when I was going to school, when I was a kid, during Christmas time and any other time, you waited to go outside. But now we're sitting in front of the computers, in front of the video games. And then many times when I'm talking to people and I sit down with them and do a bioscan, one of the first things they tell me is my mother had a heart attack, my grandmother had a heart attack, or hardening of the arteries is in my family, and diabetes is in my family. But do you see what Dr. Oz said? Our genetics load the gun, but our lifestyle pulls the trigger. And here's what I say: we eat what they ate, so we have what they have. So hopefully you've got your Bioscan report in front of you. Either it's on your phone, maybe you printed it out, because we had the privilege of being able to sit with you for about 2 minutes and do this Bioscan. Now in the Bioscan, you're going to look at your sheet as I go through it. And the first column that you notice are the items that are tested. The second column is the normal range where we all like to be. The third column are your actual measurements. And then the fourth column are the colors. The colors are green, blue, yellow, and red. Now, green means normal, blue means mildly abnormal, yellow moderately abnormal, or red severely abnormal. You're going to hear me say abnormal, you're going to hear me say out of balance, because disease is progressive. It starts in the cells, moves to the tissue, and then it progresses to the organs. Now, when would you rather know? When it's in the cells or when it's in the organs? Well, that's self-explanatory. You don't want to wait till it's in the organs. And that's why I'm so grateful that you took the time out to allow us to show you this Bioscan process. Now, you also notice that there's some colors on the left and there's some colors on the right. Everything on the left means decrease. Everything on the right means increase. In other words, if it's on the left, it means it's not working as efficiently as it should, that particular item. If it's on the right, it means it's overworking those things that are on the right. So what do we want? We want everything in the green. But we need to understand what's causing the increase or the decrease. What's causing the lack of efficiency or the overworking of a particular item? What's the source? Well, there are several things that contribute to disease. Lack of oxygen is one. Not enough oxygen getting to the cells. Mucus and parasites that builds up over time. Because remember, the bioscan that you took was not about what you did last week, last night, or last month. It's about what's been transpiring in your body since you were a teenager up until now, because everything's progressing. So if the mucus is building up and parasites, oh my God, the food that we eat, parasites in our gut, toxins, the toxicity, we've got to get these toxins out of our body, as well as the deficiency. So many diseases, so many ailments are because of a lack of the certain vitamins that we should have in our body that we're not getting in our food. And then lastly, is your body acidic? Now we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along. So now let's look at your report. The first report is about the heart and the brain, the cardiovascular and the cerebral vascular. Now, I'm going to pair some things together because you'll notice in your report, if you see one of them over, they kind of work together. It's just a wonderful way that God has made our body. When we look at the cardiovascular and the cerebral vascular, now, the tested items all the way down to just the last two. Stop at the last two right here. Stopping here is the heart. These last two relate to the brain. And then I told you the normal range in your measurements, but now let's focus on the colors. Let's look at the first one and the third one, because again, they work together. Blood viscosity means that your blood is thicker than it should be, and blood fat means there are fatty tissues in the blood causing that sludge. You know how in your oil, when you change your oil, you gotta change it, right? Because sludge will thicken and then it can't flow through. So now if you're looking at your report and it's over to the right, that means blood viscosity, your blood is thicker than it should be. Probably if it's in the red, you're more than likely already on blood thinner. And then the fatty tissues come from our diet. Now that second one is cholesterol. Is it to the right in the blue, the yellow, or the red? If it's in the blue, you've mildly got too much cholesterol. Yellow, moderately, your cholesterol is higher than it should be. And you may have already been diagnosed with high cholesterol and your doctor's leading you to think towards taking cholesterol medication. And if you're in the red, you're probably already on it. But I want you to know that all three of these can be dealt with, because the reason that they're over there to the right and they're higher than they should be is because of fat tissues, toxic food, and the kind of foods that you eat that are high in cholesterol. Now, I need you not to shoot the messenger as I share this information with you tonight, because you're going to see some foods on here that you just love, love, love. But you got to understand, we've got to take charge of our body. So if yours is to the right, guess what? You need to get the toxins out. You need to get the cholesterol down. And we have testimonies of people that have gone through our program and literally changed their situation. Now, the next thing that you see on the items is vascular resistance. Looking at your report to the right, is it in the blue? Hopefully it's in the green. But if it's in the blue, the yellow, or the red, it means that there's plaque building up around the walls of your arteries. Many of us understand this, but don't recognize what this means. If you're looking at it and you're in the red or the yellow, more than likely you're already on high blood pressure medication. Now, if you say to me that you're not, then I'm going to ask you, how's your stress? Because either one of those things can cause this plaque to build up. But now look at this situation. If there's blood flowing through the first circle and blood flowing through the third circle, I ask people all the time, do you think it's the same amount of blood? And people often say no, but the answer is yes. But it has to push harder on that third circle because of the plaque buildup, thereby raising the blood pressure. That's what blood pressure is. Does that need to be medication all the time? No. What if you just remove the plaque? And that's why we're going to teach you how to dissolve that plaque and get you back to a healthy blood vessel. Now, when we look at elasticity, that's the next three things. I'm going to pair them together: vascular elasticity, coronary artery elasticity, and cerebral blood vessel elasticity. What's the common denominator? That word, elasticity. What does that mean? That means that your blood vessel is supposed to be elastic like a rubber band. And if you see these three pictures on the right, you see the first one is perfect. But then the next two have plaque building up, causing that blood vessel to lose its elasticity and begin to harden. There we have the term hardening of the arteries. If on the bottom one, it gets too hard for any long length of time, it'll break. And when it breaks, that's called a heart attack or a stroke. And if you live through it, they're going to put a stent in between there, right? So what's the solution again? Remove the plaque. Let's dissolve the plaque. That's what you're going to hear over and over and over again tonight. Now, I said we're going to look at all three of those: vascular, coronary, and cerebral. So what's the difference? All three of them say elasticity. So that means all three are having the possibility or leading toward or progressing towards hardening of the arteries, but it's the location. Vascular elasticity is around the heart, coronary is on the heart, and cerebral is on the brain. How many of you ever talked to somebody one day and the next day they had an aneurysm? Yeah, plaque building up, the plaque will break off, it'll chip off, and it'll travel and causes blockages in those areas. So let's clean this up. Let's detox and definitely clean this up. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is myocardial blood demand. When you see the word myocardial, we're talking about the condition of the heart. And one of the things you have to understand is every 60 seconds, your heart demands a certain amount of blood to get to the heart. So if you're looking at your report and it's to the right, it's working harder than it should. And you wonder why it's working harder than it should. Just look at the other areas: the vascular elasticity, the vascular resistance. All the things we've already discussed are the reasons why it's having to work harder than it should. So we want to make sure that we clean up all this, get the detox, begin to flush out these areas in our body so that your heart doesn't have to work so hard. And you can tell when your heart is working hard. Try climbing stairs. If you want to know how healthy you are, you can find out just by climbing a set of stairs. If you can't get to the top without huffing and puffing and without grabbing your chest, because when you have to grab your chest because you feel a little tinge, that's a sign. So we've got to make sure that we get this taken care of. Now we look at myocardial blood perfusion volume. Perfusion means the oxygen. So there's a certain amount of volume of oxygen that should travel to our heart. Your blood is just not going to your heart by itself without taking anything. Remember I said oxygen? Remember I said nutrients? All of that's supposed to be traveling to our heart through our whole body, as a matter of fact. But that volume is supposed to be efficient. And if you're looking at it on the left, it's not as efficient as it should be. And it causes the blood flow to be compromised. Myocardial oxygen consumption. There's a certain of consumption of oxygen. And so now looking to the right, is it having to work harder than it should be? If it's in the blue, it's mildly, yellow, moderately, and red, it's severely compromised, severely having to overtax itself. Because every time the heart contracts, there's a certain amount that's supposed to be going and traveling of oxygen and nutrients to your body. Stroke volume is our next item. Now, don't worry, stroke does not mean having a stroke. Every time the heart contracts, it means it's called a stroke. And so we want you to be stroking as efficiently as you should. If you're on the left-hand side, not in the green, blue, yellow, or red, you're not stroking as efficiently as you should. But listen, don't worry, you can fix this. Yes, you need to exercise. I need more exercise out of you. I need more cardio out of you. And if you say to me, but Dr. Roz, I'm already exercising, I need you to intensify what you're doing periodically. Your heart can get used to a certain pace. So give me 5 minutes or 1 minute, really hitting it hard, and then back it up to what you normally are doing. Left ventricular ejection impedance. Impedance, the word impedance means blockage. The left ventricle of the body is, the purpose of this is to get blood to the rest of your body. And if you can see what you're looking at here, you see the blood traveling down to the legs. You see the blood traveling back up to the arms. Sometimes people say, I've got numbness in my arms and in my areas of my body, or I'm not getting enough oxygen down to my legs. Well, that's because of the impedance in the left ventricle. So we want to clean this up. We want to get the plaque and the toxins and the mucus out and see, don't we have a difference in our lives? Coronary perfusion pressure. Pressure on the walls of your arteries. You know, the arteries are only so large. So when that plaque is building up, okay, after a length of time, guess what? Now that pressure is causing you to feel certain things in your heart, in your chest, because of the pressure it's putting on the walls of the arteries. And if you look it to the right, you understand that's what you're dealing with. And last but not least, brain tissue blood supply status, because we've already talked about the cerebral blood vessel elasticity. This is self-explanatory. Your brain needs blood supply to flow through the tissue. Because if it doesn't, it causes blood clots. And I told you, the plaque can release from those areas and travel to the brain, travel to the heart. And that's what causes strokes and aneurysms. All right, let's go to the next report that you have, which is the gastrointestinal function. Hopefully you can pull that one up and get to it if you printed it out or if you have it on your phone. Let's talk about the gastrointestinal. We're talking about the gut. Why is the gut important? The gut is important because 70% of your immune system is in your gut. Now, you're going to hear me say some terms over and over and over again because they relate to every area of your gastrointestinal. First, let's talk about your stomach area, pepsin. Pepsin is an enzyme. Now, you're looking at your report right now, and if you see it to the left, these will all be to the left, in the blue, the yellow, or red, then that enzyme is not breaking down your protein like it should be. I call it your chewer. And if you've got ingested protein, it's degraded by pepsin into smaller peptides. It needs to break it down. When it starts not breaking it down, it puts a stress over time on your kidneys. Let me help you understand this a little bit more, because we eat animals and we don't understand about digestion. And any animal temperature that's higher than ours, your body has to work harder to break the protein of that animal down. So let's think about the different animals that we eat. We eat the cow. Everything related to the cow. The cow's body temperature is higher than yours. The pig's body temperature is higher than yours. I told y'all, don't shoot the messenger. The turkey's body temperature is higher than ours. Now you understand why everybody's laid out sleeping after they have Thanksgiving dinner, because your body's having to work, and it's losing energy, and you're tired. And pepsin is tired too. Uh-oh, the chicken, higher than all three of those. I know we love our chicken, but guess what? Look at the fish. Look at the salmon, all of that, lower body temperature. So can you understand now why it's so much easier to digest your fish and your salmon and the things that are in the water? and why many of us may need to think about maybe I could be a pescatarian. But anything higher is working your body. And we're talking about over time, ladies and gentlemen. The next item is the peristalsis, gastric peristalsis, the stomach. Is it on the left? Well, the peristalsis is a muscle, and the job of this muscle is to help move your food to elimination. Yeah, to the bowel, right? And if it's not doing it, it's just sitting there. But over time, because of so much food, we just talked about all the different animal proteins that our pepsin is not digesting. So now the food is sitting there, kind of like when you roll up a tube of toothpaste. Well, what if you stopped rolling it up? It would stop coming out. And the same thing happens. So if you're one of those persons and you're looking at your peristalsis, you're not having the bowel movements that you should be having. It's over there on the left. And then the third thing is the absorption. See, absorption is important because a lot of times we say, well, I'm eating the right kind of foods or I'm taking the right kind of supplements. I'm taking A, C, and E, but it's no good if it's not being absorbed. It's got to be absorbed. So looking at your absorption, what's causing you not to absorb well in your gut is dairy, mucus, meat, cooked food. All of these things hinder those nutrients to get through the bloodstream. And it also causes the allergies, colds, and deficiencies. And I know you see up there, you see bread, you see processed, you see cheese, you see milk. You're thinking about all this dairy, the dressings that we eat, the ice cream. Okay, yeah, you want me to hush now, right? Well, I want you to look at this plate. I'm in Texas, and this is a typical meat plate for Texas barbecue. 4 different meats. You got plenty of dairy in that coleslaw and that potato salad and bread. Do you see any raw? So I'm asking you tonight, if you leave here and don't get anything out of this presentation but one thing, I want you to get this. Add some raw to your plate. Put some salad on there, and I'm gonna ask you to eat it first. And I'm gonna say, eat the meat last. Now, please don't have 4 kinds of meat on there, but at least eat the meat last. Now let's go into the small intestines of this same report. You'll see the same terminology, peristalsis and absorption. So we're talking about now the location. Maybe your stomach, you're moving your food better and you're absorbing, but what about your small intestines? See, the small intestines is responsible for absorbing most of the nutrients in your food and your circulatory system. And then your circulatory system passes them on to the other parts of your body to store or to use. All right, your next report, large intestines. Your large intestines. Now we're talking about the colon, right? Same things, peristalsis and absorption. Looking to the left. If it's not in the green, it's going to be in the blue, the yellow, or the red to the left, meaning you're not moving your food in your colon area, or you're not absorbing. You're probably constipated. You're probably dealing with constipation. Or if you get too much food clogged up in your gut, you're dealing with acid reflux. It's backed up. It has no more room in there, so it's got to back up, and it backs up through your throat, and it's called acid reflux. Then we talk about, well, let me tell you this, because the large intestines, if you pull it out, it's the length of a quarter of a football field, they say. So can you just see how difficult it is when we've got all this waste in our colon over time, over year? I've got a picture that was sent to me. It was about a colon that was taken out, and it had decades of waste. Just, oh, it looks so nasty, so bad. I can't even show it to you because you might just have finished eating. So let's talk about the intestinal bacteria that's in your colon. That intestinal bacteria, is it on the left-hand side, the blue, the yellow, the red? If it is, it means you have more bad bacteria than good bacteria. See, there is some good bacteria, but let's look at the scale. What does our scale look like? If you're on the left, you've got more bad bacteria. So you need to stop eating the crap. Stop eating the carbonated drinks, the refined sugars, the artificial foods, and the processed foods. And let's add this to our diet. Yes, more grains, more nuts, more fruits and vegetables. That gives us the good bacteria. The last item on this particular large intestines report is your intraluminal pressure. Intraluminal pressure, that means how the pressure that's on your intestines. or on your colon. Again, the colon itself is only so wide. But can you imagine it being clogged with waste over time, just sitting there, putting pressure on the walls? And when you have excessive pressure, that's going to result in constipation or IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. But when you have inadequate pressure, that's contributing to your diarrhea or incomplete evacuation. So the solution to all of this is to cleanse and detox our body, because most of us have not been taught about digestion. So that's why there's so much waste sitting inside of us. We eat fast. We don't wait and let food digest. According to the Mayo Clinic, after you eat, it takes about 6 to 8 hours for the food to pass through your stomach and the small intestines. And they say it takes 36 hours for food to move through the entire colon. I told you, if you pulled it out, it's the length of a quarter of a football field. How many of you wait 36 hours before you eat? Nobody does. We've eaten 2, 3, 4 times by then, right? So can you imagine that waste that's been sitting in our gut? They say we hold 10 to 12 pounds of waste in our gut. There lies the reason why we need to detox. We've got to get this stuff out of our system. And our digestive tract has its own method. So if you eat a piece of fruit on your plate, say you eat a piece of watermelon or some strawberries, your digestive system says, okay, I can handle this. Let's go to work. But then when you add the potatoes or the rice, you eat it, your digestive tract says, hold up, I can't do this right now. Let me work on the potatoes or the rice. And then you add the meat. It says chicken without skin, but y'all know we eat it with the skin. And now your digestive tract waits on all of that and starts working on what takes the longest to digest, the meat. And that fruit just sits there in your gut. Strawberries could start fermenting, and you wonder why you got some bad breath. That's why we've got to detox and get this stuff out. All right, the next report is the liver function. Now I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up on the liver, because this one really, the main thing, the liver's job, you got to understand your liver fat content. If it's over to the right and it's not in the green, then you've got a fatty liver. Well, what's the job of the liver? The same thing as your oil. You change your oil every 3,000 or so miles, but they don't just change the oil, they change the oil filter. Your liver's job is to filter, because if you don't change the filter and just change the oil, now you got what? Dirty oil. Same thing in our body. When we're not filtering properly, we're sending dirty blood to the body, and the life of the flesh is in the blood. If we just clean up our liver, this alone will do changes in your whole body, because now you'll have clean blood traveling, not plaque, not all this other stuff, because this liver is supposed to filter it out. But if it's not filtering and it's over to the right, it's having to work so hard to get it done. And then you got fatty liver disease. It's a disease. Now I know I was one of those, they told me the only person that had cirrhosis of the liver was an alcoholic. But this is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And it's potentially a fatal condition that wreaks as much damage to your liver as if you were drinking a bottle of vodka every single day. So let's get back to a healthy liver. Yes, is it reversible? Absolutely, positively. And along with that fatty liver, we have bile. Bile is an enzyme, or it's a secretion from the liver that aids us in digestion. There are several things you can do to help increase your bile, but if you're looking at it to the left and your bile is not efficient as it should be, guess what? You can do something about it. There's so many things: organic acids, bitter herbs and veggies, warming spices like ginger and turmeric, prebiotic foods. Prebiotic and probiotic is necessary part of our diet. And then also the protein metabolism, the energy production, and the detoxification are all relating to the liver. How well is it filtering? So now let's filter this thing out by detoxing the liver. And you're going to hear our program that we have in place that takes care of all of this, takes care of all of it. Now let's look at the kidney. Your kidney report is really, really important, just as much as the liver. These two really are so important to me because we've got too many people that are moving towards kidney disease, and it's progressive. And that's why I put the uric acid in the red. See, the kidney's job is it's a filtration system. So your index, they call it the UB index. Is it to the right? Your uric acid, if it's to the right and it's in the red, you're more than likely already experiencing gout, because uric acid will crystallize, get in your joints, going down to your leg, going down to your big toe, and there lies gout. And then we have the blood urea nitrogen. All of these things are related to how well your kidney is functioning. And then oftentimes, too many of us have too much protein. Remember I talked about the things that were taking place in your body that are going to affect your kidneys? See, there are stages to kidney disease. When people are on dialysis, it doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time. And that's why we have to make sure that we look at this uric acid, because when it's over to the right, it's going to lead you to kidney stones and kidney failure. And when we look at it to the right and the protein urea, all we got to do is go back to the gut, because that pepsin is probably not working. That peristalsis is probably not as efficient as it should be. And it's overworking just to break down and move our food, and it's putting stress. Didn't I tell you that earlier? Putting stress on your kidneys, because the kidney's job is to filter. It's a filtration system. So when they put you on dialysis, if you notice, there's one popping up in our communities after you see all the fast food joints, then there's a dialysis center, because it's intentional. And they know that if we keep eating the same way that we're eating, that's where we're headed. And this is a man-made filtration system. Then if they do give you somebody else's kidney, if they do a kidney transplant, you then got to have medication that you got to stay on, because you got somebody else's kidney. All right. Our last report tonight is about your body being acidic or alkaline. Is your body, have you ever heard those terms, acidic or alkaline? Let me break it down. If you go to the store and you buy a battery, Duracell, ever ready, it's called an alkaline battery. Now, back in the day, we had boom boxes, and we put those D batteries in it, and you play it, and you play it, and you play it, and it slows down, right? Because it's no longer alkaline. Well, our body is the same way. Over time, because of the toxins in our body, because of our diet, and because of stress, our body becomes acidic. So when you're looking at your report, now notice it's the pH. It's either green or red. There's no gray area here. It's either green or red. But look at your number, and hopefully you'll be kind of close to that 3.156. But we've got to get your body in an alkaline state. Because when your body's acidic, it doesn't just affect your pH, it also affects your response, how responsive you are. You may be reacting to everything. You're just going off on folks. Don't even realize why. Your mental power, your water shortage around the cells of your body, and the hypoxia, which is the oxygen around your cells. But you know that there's something going on in your body. So what we've got to do is cleanse that body, detox the body, and get you to spend more time at 7, 8, 9, and 10 than you do at 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, I know there's some stuff over there, 3, 4, 5, and 6 that you like. Now, I'm not saying you can never have it. I'm just saying that we must incorporate a 70-30 is what they like for us to do. 70% on the 7, 8, 9, and 10, and 30% at 3, 4, 5, and 6. On your plate, 70-30. Not 70 on the left, 70 on the right. Because every individual, every one of you that's here, has the potential to become a rechargeable battery by detoxing and becoming alkaline. So what is our job? We're going to flush the body. We got to flush it of the toxins and the mucus and the waste and the parasites and the plaque buildup. Oh, that's been there since you were a teenager. That's what the Bioscan showed you. What was going on in the cells of your body since you were a teenager up until now. And we do that by juicing and eating fruits and vegetables. We got to stop and let the body reset and go raw. And I hope that you will understand that this is a warning sign for us. Don't wait until it happens. Don't wait until crisis, which is what our healthcare system tends to focus on. When I get a hurricane, we just had a tornado watch or warning here in Houston. People did things to prepare for it in case it happened. What are you doing? Well, we're going to show you how to do it. I've got a lady that I respect so highly. I just love, love, love her. Her name is Aana Gallagher. She's a mother, grandmother, entrepreneur, a conopreneur, and she's a certified wellness coach. And she's going to share with you tonight the process that we have in place to help you detox your body. Miss Aana, are you there?
Yes.
All right, take it away.
Good evening, everyone. You can select one or the other, a 7-day refresh, a 21-day reset. The 7-day refresh, this includes your meal plan, grocery list, and your protein products. And your proven products. The 21-day reset, this includes your meal plan, grocery list, and proven products also. But the 21-day cleanse, it helps you to repair, renew, and reset your mind, body, and soul. Plus, it reduces belly fat, inflammation, and drops the waist in 21 days. Now, the refresh, you lose unwanted pounds and refresh the mind, body, and soul in just 7 days. So either one, but just do one or the other. Step 1, the eliminator. This eliminates excess mucus and parasite. This is a powder. You're taking a teaspoonful every morning in 8 ounces of water. This will eliminate the mucus and the parasite. Number 2, the purifier. No healing can take place until you clean out the sewer system, so the other organs get a signal to release their waste. And this is what the purifier does for you. It cleanses the colon and detoxifies your bodily organs. This is a tea. You drop it in 40 to 45 ounces of water after the water has boiled. Drop the tea bag in there, let it set overnight, then put it in a jar or a pitcher, whichever you prefer. But on the first day for either one, you only drink 4 ounces of the tea, and then you drink another 4 ounces in the evening before 8 o'clock. Your other 6 or 20 days, you only drink it before 8 o'clock in the evening. It gives you a gentle bowel movement. It wakes you up in plenty of time that you don't have to fall out of the bed running, trying to get to the back. Our number 3, this replenishes vitamins and minerals. It's called the regenerator. You're going to add 2 teaspoons to your juice or smoothie. Oh, by the way, did I tell you we would be juicing, or either you'll be making smoothies? Now, this regenerator, it has about 11 herbs and minerals in it. And you can see some of the names that are in there. You will drink this 3 times a day. Women, 16 ounces in their juice, 16 ounces of juice, men 24 ounces of juice. If you're going to do the juice, you would put 2 teaspoonsful in your juice, stir it up, drink it. You'll feel great before your meals or after your meals, before breakfast, before lunch, before your last meal, or either after. The smoothie, you're going to be doing the same thing, but it will help you to feel awesome. These are just a few of the products that you'll need to go with this. Flaxseed oil or flaxseed, your cayenne pepper, your liquid chlorophyll, your alkaline water, of course, and your aloe vera juice. You're going to have a raw salad. It can be spinach, kale mix, however you want to do it. Non-dairy dressing, balsamic dressing, or a dressing that you can see through. You're going to have fruits, nuts, and seeds. The nuts that you can have, almond, walnut, or pecan. No honey roasted. All of this you will be using to get yourself reset or refreshed. Get with your wellness coach to determine if the juice regimen or the smoothie regimen is best for you. And you're going to have a free grocery guide and free group coaching. These are the people I call our raw warriors. As you can see, it will show a before and after picture where they've lost weight. These are real people, real results. These are not actors that we've went out and recruited and paid. So, I mean, this is awesome. And now I'm going to let you hear from our CSO, Miss Phyllis Nash. She'll tell you what happened to her when she took the quiz.
I was able to lose 14 pounds, 6 inches. And I love the way I look. I'm not gonna lie, I am loving this. But let me tell you what I love even more. I dropped my cholesterol 50 points, blood pressure stabilized. And my doctor and I had been fighting for the last 5 years because she wanted to put me on a statin. And I absolutely refused. And she told me I would never change my cholesterol, lower it by diet alone. Well, you can know how excited I felt when I had dropped it 50 points. I want to be optimally healthy until the day I just close my eyes and I was able to.
Next, we've discovered the most powerful superfruit on planet Earth, the Arona berry. This berry, it accelerates weight loss. It tastes delicious. It only takes 1.5 ounces twice a day, reduces inflammation, and the ORIC score is 41,000 plus. It is off the chain. It says step 4 optional, but we're not going to want it optional. And some of you are sitting there saying, what is the ORIC score? This score helps us to understand how effective a berry or food is protecting ourselves from damage caused by harmful substance in our body. The higher the score, the better they are at keeping us healthy. And you can see just by looking at this chart how the Arona berry has shot up above every other berry. You can also see the other berries that are actually on here, and I know that some of you are familiar with them, but the Arona berry outshines all of them. Now, after the reset or refresh, you have 3 options you can choose from to keep your lifestyle going. You've got option number 1, which is the flexible option. This option allows cooked food and your blood type and animal protein. It encourages a reduction of bad carbs and increase in more fruits and vegetables. Option 2, plant-based. This is a meal and dairy-free option that allows cooked vegan food. And option 3, age reversal. Of course, we all want the age reversal. This option consists of mainly raw fruits, vegetables, and nuts. You will also enjoy delicious low-temperature cooked vegan meals. Then we have the Flat Belly Blaster Hemp Protein. This product is awesome. It is a powder that goes into your smoothie. Usually you're going to use it for post-detox, but you can also use it for your refresher reset. But be sure and check out with your coach before you do so. These are the ingredients that's in it. And back to Dr. Roz, our awesome mentor, our awesome teacher. We just love her to death. Thank you, Dr. Roz.
All right, all right. Thank you, Miss Anna. Great job, great job. Now, let's get to the core of this now, because you took the Bioscan, but didn't they tell you there were 45 areas of this Bioscan, not just the 6 that we've talked about tonight? They're literally over 100 pages. And you may really want to know some more about, what's going on with you and your gallbladder and your blood sugar, your vitamin deficiency. Where are you deficient in your vitamins? What's causing the allergies or the skin? And if you're a woman, you may want to know about your breasts. You don't have to wait till October. If you're a man, you don't want to wait till you want to know now about your prostate. Well, get back with the coach that scans you and ask them, how do I get my full Bioscan report? And they'll tell you the cost of that. There's a fee that goes with that. They'll tell you just what it costs for them to give you that full Bioscan report. And then we've been talking about blood type, right? Do you know your blood type? Do you realize that your blood type is a more reliable measure of your identity than your race, your culture, your geography? It is a genetic blueprint of who you are. And it's a guide to how you can live most healthily. Now, while you're doing the scan, the blood type, the cleanse and the detox, You don't have to eat according to your blood type, but it's after that that we really want you to know what your blood type is, because you may be eating something that's toxic to your blood type. Your body may not have the antigens necessary to break down the protein that's in your, okay, if you're blood type A and you already know that, then guess what? You shouldn't be eating bananas. They're toxic to you. And it's not what you do some of the time, it's what you do all the time or most of the time. If you're blood type B, please don't shoot the messenger. Chicken. Do you see that chicken? Oh my God. Avocado, shrimp, blood type O, fish, white wine, and avocado. Those are things. And there's a full list of things. And that can be the starting point of making changes in your body, because your body is working hard to fight. It sees those things as an enemy. So we've got a full blood type testing kit. Very simple, very easy to use. Takes you about 5 minutes to use it. All the directions are there. Get back with the person that invited you to this, or who told you about this company, and they can make sure you get your blood type testing kit. Now let's talk about the cleanse and the detox. Okay, let's get to it, because this is what we've got to do to flush out those toxins and the plaque and the mucus and the waste. 21 days. That's what we want everybody to do. We want everybody to start with 21 days, because this is raw for 21 days, letting the body reset. But I know everybody's not going to do 21 days. So we want you to do something. 7 days. 7 days, 139, 21 days for three, it's 349. I just rounded off to 350. And then the aronia berry that Miss Aana just talked about. Oh my goodness. Every morning, this is a regimen for me, because it does so many things for the body. So pick and choose where you are. If you're a couple, you're doing it as a husband and a wife, if you're doing it as a family, get your detox products now. Matter of fact, we've got a brand new website for you to go to take a look at everything we've been talking about. It's flatbellyebook.com. Flatbellyebook.com. Definitely go to that website, and whoever sent you there. But we also want to suggest to you, because here's what happens. When you do our detox program, changes take place. I'm on the detox program as we speak. Changes are already taking place. I'm already seeing weight loss in just a few days. And when that happens, somebody's going to ask you, what are you doing? What's going on? You're looking better. You're glowing. You've lost weight. I can see it. Guess what? Now you can send them to your website. See, especially if you're going to do a 21-day cleanse for $350, why not just pay a little bit more for this Pearl Lifestyle Pack of $399, and you get the 21-day cleanse, and you get some of our products that help with pain cream, the gummies that help you sleep, gummy sample packs that you can give away. You're going to get the website. So now you have actually your own business, which is a wonderful home-based business tax write-off, I might add, for just $399. And then I have to throw this pitch in, because listen, we need more coaches. We need more wellness coaches. We want wellness coaches in every nook and cranny of the United States, all over the country, in every city, in every state, to be able to do the bioscans the same way we did for you. If you love people, if you're concerned about people, if you think that you have a desire or a motivation for health and wellness, please become a Diamond Coach. Get our Diamond Coach Pack for $14.99. It's really $2,000. Add $500 on there. It's not showing here. $500 is what it costs to get the actual scan equipment. So why would you get just to become the coach and you're not the scan coach? I want you to do all of that. Become the scan coach as well. And look at all the product that you get with it. 3 7-day cleanses, 1 21-day cleanse, hemp protein, extreme pain cream, hempranium. That's our own proprietary formula of CBD, 500 milligrams with black seed oil, turmeric, coconut, peppermint. All that's there. The Hemp MD, that's our strongest CBD tincture that you put up under the tongue, 3 drops under the tongue. And then you got pain cream packs to give away. Those are sample packs, broad spectrum and gummies, all of this. And you become a certified wellness coach trained by our naturopathic doctor, Dr. Eric Prince. Also, you'll go through our own Aana certification I mean, it's just amazing. Over $3,000 in total value. But either way you do it, whether you're going to start the 7 day, start the 21 day, become a brand ambassador with our company, become a wellness coach, either way you're going to do it, all I'm saying, detox. Because it is your opportunity to give your body a break and allow your own self-cleansing and self-healing process to kick it into gear. Listen, God made our bodies to heal itself. So we're inviting you to elevate with Aana. And we're going to take the time right now to welcome you to the family. Listen, in just a few minutes, as a matter of fact, if you've already started the cleanse, you want to get on our program where we come together and check in. So get back with the person that invited you. We're doing that 3 days a week where you can actually check in while you're on the cleanse, get encouragement, get support, get motivation. Maybe somebody will share a recipe, a raw, you heard me, raw recipe. But whatever that is, definitely get back with them and find out how you can do that. And don't forget, go to our brand new website at flatbellyebook.com. All right, everybody, have a great night. Get back with your wellness coach if you have any other questions or concern, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.